joining me here in the Bead Club Lounge. Today I'm going to be showing you a St. Petersburg stitch tutorial. Now this is a technique that I don't see getting used a whole lot, and I think it deserves a little bit more credit because it's very pretty stitch and it's very simple, which I'm sure a lot of you will appreciate. So let's get started. Alright, so I have my beads all laid out here. I have my size 8 seed beads, size 11, my drop beads, or you may call them fringe beads, and I also have my larger size beads. I think I'm using a size an 8mm. You can use 8, 10, 12, whatever you have on hand. It just needs to be a large size. And I also have my size 10 needle threaded with some wildfire. That's what I have. You can feel free to use Fireline. I have a random bead here that's not going to be part of my work, and I'm using this as a stop bead. So I'm just going to slide it down my thread, leaving about 10 inches for my tail, and from the tail end I'm passing back through that bead, and that's going to create a little loop of thread around that bead, and it's not going to go anywhere now. And this is going to prevent my beads from falling off my thread when I add them. So now I'm going to pick up 6 of my size 8 seed beads, and I'm just going to let those slide all the way down my thread to my stop bead. And then I'm going to pass through the 3rd and 4th beads from the tail end. So that's going to be the 2 in the middle. And holding those beads tight, I'm just going to pull my thread through, and it's going to create these 2 columns. So on one side I'm going to have a column of 4, and on the other side I'm going to have a column of 2. From there I'm going to pick up one size 11, and I'm going to pass down through 3 of the 4 seed beads in that first column and pull. And then I'm going to pick up one drop bead, and I'm going to go up through from the tail end the column of 2. And I'm going to pull, and you want to keep a tight tension throughout this whole project, otherwise you're going to see a lot of thread showing. And when you pull that through, you're going to have something that looks like this. From here, we're going to pick up 4 of our size 8 seed beads, and I'm going to let those slide down to join that second column of 2. And I'm going to pass through the first 2 of the 4 I just picked up. So again, it's going to kind of look like the middle 2 of the 6 the first time we did this. And when you pull, you want to make sure you push those beads tight against the other ones. It's going to create 2 columns just like the first time, a column of 4 and a column of 2. You're going to pick up one size 11 and pass back through 3 of the 4 size 8 seed beads and pull, and remember to pull tight. And then you're going to pick up one drop bead. Just running away from me over here. One drop bead, and we're going to pass up through that column of 2 from the tail end. And when you pull, you have something that looks like this. And we're going to repeat that one more time just so you can get the hang of it. So I'm going to pick up 4 of my size 8 seed beads, and I'm going to let them slide down my thread to join the column of 2. I'm going to pass through the first 2 of the 4 seed beads I just picked up and pull. And when you pull, you see you can get a space in between there. That's why you want to hold onto your beads, pull your thread with your other hand, and make sure that the beads are really snug against your previous beadwork. Then you're going to pick up one size 11 and pass down through 3 of the 4 seed beads, the size 8 seed beads, and pull tight. Then I'm going to pick up 1 drop bead and I'm going to pass up through the column of 2 from the tail end. And you just keep going just like that until you have your desired length. Alright, so I have a length of beadwork here, it's just a little bit longer. And I'm just going to show you how to end this necklace off. And for that, I'm going to need my bigger bead here. So I'm going to pick up 2 of my size 8 seed beads, just like that. And I'm coming out of the column of 2. So I'm just going to let those slide down, and then I'm going to pick up my bigger bead along with a size 11 seed bead. And I'm going to skip the size 11 seed bead and pass back down through the bigger bead, the 2 seed beads that I just picked up, the size 8, along with the 2 that were there before, and my drop bead. And just want to pull that tight. And when you pull it, it's just going to attach that bigger bead onto the end of your beadwork right there. Now I want to reinforce this because this is my clasp, and as usual the clasp gets a lot of wear and tear, so you want to protect it as much as possible by going through the beads multiple times. So I'm going to just kind of retrace my thread path here. I'm going to go through these top 3 beads in the previous column, the top 3 size 8 seed beads in the previous column, and pull that. And then I'm going to go through my size 11, just like that. And then I'm going to pass back down through my size 8 seed beads, 3 of them. And then go through the drop bead, and my needle went through the first size 8 seed bead there as well, which is fine. And we're just going to pass back up through the rest of the beads. So the next 3 size 8 seed beads, my 8mm, and pull that through, go through my size 11, and back down. If I can find the hole. There you go, and back down. So you can repeat that as many times as you feel comfortable to get a number of threads going through this bead here. And that will add the clasp portion, or one half of your clasp, onto this end of your beadwork. So now I'm going to take my stop bead off on the other end. So you just hold it and pull it, comes off really easy. And I'm going to thread this end onto a needle and show you how to attach the clasp, the other half of the clasp on this end. And make sure when you take off your stop bead that this single size 8 doesn't fall off. Alright, so I have my needle threaded with my tail thread, and I picked up about 10 of my size 8 seed beads. 10? 12. 12 of my size 8 seed beads. And I'm going to slide those down my thread. And all you want to do really is to pick up enough beads that are going to be able to fit snugly around your clasp bead here. So I'm going to kind of test it out a little bit and pass my needle up through the fixed seed beads on here. So these 3, and right next to your size 11. And when you pull those, it creates a little loop of beads around there. And I'm just going to test it out to see if it fits around my bead. And it does. And I'm okay with that. All right, so what you do is just, when you're happy with the size of the loop of your seed beads, you just reinforce it by going back through all of the beads again and then tying a knot. And I actually forgot to mention that you do the same thing on the other side. So after you've reinforced your clasp bead over here, you just go through the columns and retrace your thread path and tie a couple half hitch knots. So I'm just going to show you on this end since my needle is over here. So you just want to make sure you go back through all of your beads again. And as you go, you can tie some knots. So I'm just going to tie one right here, take my needle underneath the thread in between my beads and leave a little loop. Take my needle through that loop and pull. And you can see that it's creating a knot right there. And then I'm going to continue through the size 8 beads and make sure to skip that size 11. And you just want to go through as many times as it takes to tighten that loop up and to create as many knots as you want. And when you're done, you're going to have something that looks like this. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button if you are new here. Head on over to my website, beadclublounge.com, for more beading tips and tutorials. And until next time, bye-bye!